Hey guys, wanted to show you some of the tiny terrariums that I've been making lately. I know this is a pipe smoking and kind of a board gaming channel, but started off as a pipe smoking and terrarium channel because I love plants, love growing plants, primarily indoor plants, and then turning them into terrariums or bonsai. So this is how I make a mini terrarium. I go to a place, this is how it all started at least, American Science and Surplus. I believe they have them all over the nation, but it's here in Milwaukee, and it is one of the coolest stores in the world. American Science and Surplus. And they sell bits and pieces and strange oddities and you name it, they have a part of it. Maybe not the whole thing, but they've got a part of it. As well as some bigger ticket items like telescopes and microscopes and things like this. They also have a number of these glass little jars, all different sizes, along with corks. So what I did was I went and I bought some of those, and I started making tiny terrariums. By the way, I'm sorry. Got my Dracula Peterson from Scotty Piper I'm smoking right now. I'm actually smoking the Borkum Riff. And I like the Borkum Riff. Unfortunately, I gave it a really good review, and my cheap tobacco review does leave a bad taste in my mouth after I smoke it a bit though. And I'm getting that now, so what else? Anywho, I buy these containers, little glass jars and little corks from there. So what I do is I've got some gravel and I add that to the bottom of the mini glass container as such. I'm using multicolored and black mixed together just to give it some natural look, like it could be dirt or underground. And then what I do is I add just a thin layer of moss. And I collect moss whenever I'm out on a walk and I see some big patches or some cool looking different colors or what have you. Also, my daughter gets it for me from school. They have a ton of it growing and she gets it for me. So I just keep it in a little container like this, a little plastic container, keep it wet, keep it under my lamps in the basement, and I'm good to go. So I'm adding a substrate, if you will. So I'll put that down on the bottom there, and I just kind of mix it up real nice. And again, that'll be the substrate, or the layer below the actual moss that I add into this, even though that was moss. So that, I'm hoping that moss in time, that substrate will actually grow and fill in any patches that the other moss that I'm about to add. So we'll see. That said, I will now add some different type of moss that is off of a large piece of bark that I collected. And I will add some other different types of moss on top of that. Now and then, pretty much you just make it look nice. You know, you clean it up real good with a paper towel and a large tweezers, again, from American Science and Surplus. And guys, that is my mini terrarium. You can keep it enclosed, or you can open it up if it seems like it is a little bit dry and you don't see the moisture flecking on top every once in a while. You want to see that. That's a good sign. You don't want to see that all the time. If it is all the time, you want to uncork it and let some fresh air in and let the water evaporate. If that's the case, leave it off for maybe a day, put it back on, and then if it's too dry, just add with your finger. You can just put it under the, well, what I do is I use unchlorinized water. I keep a couple jugs of water around in my basement by my plants uncovered, so the chlorine and other stuff gets out of it, evaporates out of it, I hear. I don't know. Anyhow, I dip my finger in there and I just let it drip, a couple drips in the little mini terrarium, and that's plenty. That's all it will need. I'll cork it back up, put it in some non-direct sunlight, and we're good to go. All right, guys. Hope that was cool. I love my terrarium, so if it wasn't, I apologize. Hope all is well. Subscribe if you haven't, like a video or two, and peace.